Yes, sir. So apparently there's backlash to this Texas anti-abortion law, basically saying that if you get an abortion after 6 weeks, you will face a penalty, a hefty one at that, and I believe maybe even jail time. If somebody reports on somebody going to get an abortion, even somebody that's assisting someone to get an abortion after 6 weeks, they can get rewarded $10,000. Why is there backlash to this? Because women are being held more accountable. Texas is basically telling women, you can still get an abortion, but it has to be in a timely manner. You have to be more responsible with your actions. And to the women that are actually responsible with their body and their actions, they shouldn't even be worried about this type of shit, because this is the type of shit that people are actually talking about nowadays. The society is already far gone, and majority of the women are going to be far gone with it. Fellas, women are making it so much more easier on social media for you to understand that they are totally undateable. They're not wife material. All they are is a piece of ass that you need on a slow Saturday night. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. All of these liberal females, majority, if damn near not all, of the shit that they support has to do with death, sacrificing the blood of children. But they don't look at it like that. It's their body. It's their choice. How could it be your body when there's another heartbeat inside of you, another set of hands, feet? It doesn't make any sense. But these are the type of females that are in today's society. It is what it is. Let's check it out.
Now to Texas, where the impact is being felt this morning from the nation's most restrictive abortion bill. The law went into effect on Wednesday, banning all abortions after a heartbeat can be detected in the fetus, which is as early as 6 weeks into a pregnancy, and that's before many women even know they're pregnant.
Cut the bullshit. 6 weeks. They're making these women victims to more bullshit. Like 6 weeks prior to the situation, you didn't know that you was having unprotected sex every other weekend, getting your back blown. You didn't know that? Getting drunk to where you didn't know what you was doing the night before, to where you got to text the guy and ask him what happened. You're getting skeeted in, raw dogged. You either going to contract something or you're going to end up pregnant. If you miss your period, it's obvious. It's uncommon sense, because common sense isn't common. It's uncommon sense to go ahead and rush to the drugstore and get pregnancy tests, multiple if you have to do so. So to say that 6 weeks is not enough time, because majority of these women that go out, because it's a minute percentage of rape and incest in difficult situations. Majority of the scenarios of women going to Planned Parenthood are the ones that are going out every Friday and Saturday night, getting pissy drunk and getting dogged out by multiple guys. If that, they pop up pregnant in 5 weeks and then they don't know what to do. All Texas is telling women is to be more responsible. You could still get your baby chopped up, but you can't do it after 6 weeks. What is the big problem? What is the deal?
Ripple effects are now being felt beyond just Texas. NBC News reporter Liz McLaughlin joins us now from Austin. Good morning, Liz. So first, just tell us, what's the reaction been like to this new bill in Texas? And then what's the effect? What's the impact on neighboring states?
Savannah, women seeking these services are feeling desperate. We're already hearing some stories. For instance, one woman who is 5 weeks pregnant, so under the limit, but then tested positive for COVID. So has to quarantine for 2 weeks, unable to seek out these services.
Whose fault is that? Nobody but hers.
From abortion providers, including the clinic behind me. We're at a Planned Parenthood clinic this morning. Another example, one woman took a medication-induced abortion that did not take, very rare, so now it's a high-risk pregnancy. So these phone lines to clinics outside of the state are almost turning into helplines. People are calling, crying, afraid, not sure what to do. Some women don't have the means or time off work to be able to travel out of the state. For instance, Trust Women's Clinic in Oklahoma usually fields about 3 to 5 calls from Texans a day. Now that number is closer to 50. Savannah.
Wow. I mean, that right there, you can understand the impact. Thank you so much. And also, we understand that some major companies in Texas are pushing back. Tell us the latest there.
So American Airlines and Silicon Laboratories have spoken out against this. Some of Texas' biggest employers, though, like AT&T, have been quiet about this. Bumble and Match, the dating companies, are both female-led and Texas.
Who gives a shit that Bumble and Tinder gives a shit about this plan? Oh yeah, I forgot. These apps are ran by women. These apps are ran by women, encouraging women to be more thought-like. Explore your options. You can be fine sleeping with this guy on a Wednesday, sleeping with this guy on a Saturday, but if you end up pregnant, you're fine because you can go ahead and get your baby chopped up, and then you could continue to be a thought. These apps encourage that behavior. These apps are nothing but cesspools with liberal females, tatted up, father issues, pansexuals. They mess with girls, they mess with guys. They're confused. And guys, there's nothing on these dating apps. Of course, there's a couple of exceptions to the rule, but it's not going to make it the rule. Majority of the females on dating apps are liberal. They're lunatics and they're freaks. Let's be honest. Good amount saying we're not here just for hookups, but they're there for hookups. They're there to be fluid with their body. Texas is telling these women to stop, slow down, being so damn fluid with your body. Empowering women to be thoughts is getting glorified left and right. Everybody loves being on their thought shit, hands on their knees and whatnot. But when it comes down to being responsible, when it comes down to holding yourself accountable for spreading your legs, now there's an uproar because the brat comes out. Nobody ever told women that, nah, you got to chill with the way that you're acting because it's getting encouraged, especially on dating apps, to where women are actually, women are getting encouraged by the wrong individuals, and they won't know until it's too late.
They've spoken out against this, and Uber and Lyft, they've set up funds so that their drivers can't be sued, or at least their legal fees will be covered, as this law really puts, except for patients can't be sued, but providers and anyone, quote, aiding and abetting, which that language is interesting, right? Because we're criminalizing in that language a constitutional right, but anyone help.
It's a constitutional right, right? But you're actually committing murder, because what happens when somebody kills a pregnant individual? It's no longer a homicide. It's a double homicide. So when a woman wants to kill her baby or fetus, whatever these liberals want to call it, it's her making a choice with her body. These women got to understand that your body is nothing more, nothing less than the hotel, the apartment for the baby, for another human, another creature. It is not just your body.
Someone get access to an abortion after 6 weeks can be sued, including those drivers that provide transportation. So Uber and Lyft speaking out about it, saying that their drivers will be covered, a handful of other companies, but a lot have remained.
That's very smart of Uber and Lyft. They're jumping on it like, yo, listen, our drivers don't know where they're going. They're just taking them to a location, nothing more, nothing less. They're going about their business. But if the location says Planned Parenthood, I think you should know where you're going, especially when you punch the address in and it comes up Planned Parenthood, then that's another story.
Quiet some that did speak up for things like voting rights. Savannah?
Yeah, absolutely. And a reminder here, that's the big thing with this law, is that any private citizen is able to actually pursue legal action against somebody who's helping another person get that abortion. Now, Liz, what's next for this legislation, both in terms of where it goes from here and for those who are fighting against it?
You know, we've heard a lot of people speaking out. We're seeing outrage. You know, that's not necessarily direct action, but there is a court of public opinion, and that may push lawmakers to do some more as well. I just spoke to comedian Amy Schumer, who says she's not going to stop talking about this. The DOJ is seeking some action here. They might be able to sue as a violation of civil rights. Congress looking to pass some sort of federal law.
You look at all of the faces of all of these women that are holding these signs, not one of them look happy. And of course, they're at an event to where they're marching against something that they don't believe in. But just let's be honest, none of them are happy. Majority of these females that are out here aren't even getting any penis to begin with. Majority of these marches are filled with feminists and man-hating women with penis envy for the most part. And then it's filled up with liberal females that are actually having sex. But for the most part, these females are thoughts. These females are slurs for the most part, and they want to continue being slurs because they're in the land of confusion. We're actually talking about abortion. Women got to be more smarter. It should take you at least 6 weeks, man, to understand if you're pregnant or not.
that could protect this. Meanwhile, people are setting up legal defense funds. And restraining orders are being issued. Planned Parenthood was able to get a restraining order that keeps at least one anti-abortion group from suing. But again, any private citizen can still do that. The constitutionality of this law is still in question.
That pretty much sums it up, man. Like I said, Texas is just telling women to be more responsible with your actions, man. But women in today's society aren't accustomed to being told about themselves because they're just allowed to do whatever they want to do. They're told that they can do no wrong. They're queens, they're goddesses. The list goes on. I'm out.